As you become more and more conscious, you'll get this feeling that others may not be real. Now, as you become more and more conscious, but you cannot prove that other people are not real, right? There's no way at this level of consciousness to know if others are real. But let's say other people were real. I want to ask you a question. So let's say other people were real. Like, it's not you the only one who's real. It's not you the only one who's self-aware. So let's say there are other people who are also self-aware, who are also real, who are also dealing with their own problems. Thanks for the super thanks, Yasmar. So yeah, let's say the way other people who were real. Do you think that it will be every person that you meet who's actually real? Like every person that you've met in your life was real. Like they were actually real. I'm talking about, people who became your friends, people who were your teachers when you were young, people who started a random fight with you in the street, people who made random comments about you in the street. You know what I'm saying? People that you interact with online. Are you telling me that all of these people are real? Like you believe that? You believe that every person that exists in this world is actually real. They have their own consciousness. They are aware of their existence. I've watched many videos um of wildlife, and um the kind of videos that's fascinated me the most are videos where they will like send a decoy. Like for an example, they will send like a rabbit that's not real, right? A decoy, and you find that other rabbits are accepting it as one of their own. Like they're not realizing that, oh no, that thing is not real. Like that's a decoy. It's soulless. It's robotic. They don't realize that. So if they don't realize that, don't you think that also in this realm we could be dealing with soulless beings, but we don't realize that because they are more advanced than the decoys that they use on animals. Do you get what I'm saying? And they should be. Why shouldn't they be advanced? They should be advanced because human beings question things. But we have seen a lot, man. We've seen people glitch. Yeah, I'm saying, and we'll come up with explanations that will make sense. If you watch the movie Get Out, and I like the new movie that was also directed by Jordan Peele, it's called Weapons. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, if you watch the movie Get Out, I also like the movie Us. If you like, just watch Jordan Peele movies. The guy is brilliant. But yeah, there was this moment where this other guy glitched, right? Because the main character took a photo of him because he looked like someone that they knew when they were young. So when he took a photo of this guy, he started to glitch. He was like, "Get out, get out!" He started to behave strangely, and then they later brought the dude to explain what was happening, and they made it seem like he just had some seizure or something like that. I think people do glitch. The problem is that we always want to believe the mainstream narrative that we're all being given. Like we never try to think that things might not be what they seem. You hear what I'm saying? Like there are things that are happening that are actually supernatural, but we are not aware. So if a person starts to leech, you just be like, ah, no, they just having this a seizure, they just this and that, they have this kind of mental disorder. But you find that actually there is more to it. There's more to it. Like maybe there are people who suffer from some conditions, yes, but what if some of these people are just not real? What if some people, like you would watch? I remember I've watched many videos when I was into conspiracy theory of celebrities glitching, bro. You like, you find that a celebrity stands in one place like this, they're not blinking maybe for 40 seconds. You're like, is that possible? Have I ever seen a person like freeze like this for, and then they start to talk again like nothing happened? Do you get what I'm saying? I have a feeling that not every person that we interact with is real. And I think the only way to tell if someone is real if they can philosophize. You know what I'm saying? If they are asking the right questions. If you show someone my videos and that person is like, oh no, this guy is crazy, you can't trust that person. You know, I'm not saying I'm always right, but you can tell that this is coming from a real place, right? You can tell this is coming from an honest place. Maybe I'm not right all the time, but you can tell this is coming from an honest place. So how can a person not understand what I'm saying? Like, what's there to disagree with? Do you get what I'm saying? If they disagree with the things that I'm saying or some of the deep things that you say to them, and they don't actually come up with like a strong argument, you know what I'm saying, against what you're saying, then you can't really trust them. Like if you're going to say I'm wrong, if you're going to say, Benedictine, you're actually wrong, then tell me why you think I'm wrong. I I think NPCs will actually try to emotionally blackmail you or gaslight you if you are on the right path. So if you are speaking the truth, they will say something like, "Oh, you're just depressed." They'll say these common phrases that we've had, from a lot of people. Yeah, you're just depressed. You say something real, something honest, something truthful, and they say you're just depressed. You're like, huh? You're too negative. Like they don't really say much. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't say much. Really, they're not deep. They're not real. Because as a real human in this realm, you have to have been asking yourself some of the questions that we are trying to answer on this channel. You must have. You must have asked yourself, what is this, bro? Where do we come from? And what are we supposed to be doing here? Why is this so boring? You must have asked yourself these kind of questions. Why? Because you're real and you're having this experience. So NPCs will not be able to even ask themselves these kind of questions because they're not even supposed to. Do you get what I'm saying? That's supposed to keep you distracted. That's supposed to make you feel crazy if you ask the right questions. Guys, speaking of NPCs and soulless beings, I do believe the Discord link that I posted is working. Try to join the Discord server so that we can start communicating more and have real conversations, because this world seems to be full of NPCs, people that you can't communicate with in a real way. So try to click on the link and see if it actually works. If it doesn't, tell me. But I also think you can make it work by copying the okay, it's not working. This is the weirdest thing about Discord. I don't know how to copy a Discord link, and I don't think it's that simple. Like they don't make it easy, right? So and these links keep on expiring, so you can copy the link to your profile, paste it, and then now it's not, after 2 days it's not working. I don't know, guys, but try this method. You can try to copy the address and post it on your Google uh tab, and then see if it takes you directly to my channel. I don't know how it really works, but I've been telling you that this Discord thing will have to work, right? It's something that I'm working on. What I want Discord for specifically now is for us to be having real conversations live. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about chatting. I think we can chat here on YouTube, but like have video chat, like that's much easier on Discord, so we can do that. But okay, if it's not working, it's fine. I will try another method. I'll probably post on a comment if I find, maybe I'll try the invite thing. Maybe it's what's gonna work. But yeah, it's not easy to meet a person that you feel is real. In this place, it's not easy, bro. That you be like, no, man, there's so much more to this person. You know what I'm saying? Like there's consciousness behind this what I'm seeing now. Like I'm not just interacting with the robot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interacting with the machine. I'm not interacting with an NPC, with a bot. Because it's actually easy to tell if, like, it used to be very easy online to tell if you were chatting with the bot. Now the bots are becoming more and more advanced, but you can still tell. You can still tell that, okay, this is a bot, right? When you ask deeper questions. So no matter how intelligent the bot is, you can actually see based on how it responds to you that no, this has to be a bot. This has to be an NPC. So if I'm right when I say that most people that we interact with are not real, they're just NPCs, that will mean that there are a lot of things that have happened to you that were caused by other people that you thought were real that were not even real. Maybe you dated an NPC and that NPC turned your life upside down. And you ask yourself, how can someone do this? They're not real, they're not conscious, they're just a program doing what they're programmed to do, and that's it. They have no feelings, they have no compassion, they have no understanding. They're just programs, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, pay attention to how people operate, bro. Try to have real conversations with people who are in your life. Sometimes you realize that no, man, something it might not be right. You know, try to have real conversations. Especially when you and that person that you want to have a real conversation with are comfortable, right? Maybe you're alone and you're comfortable, and you just start telling them real shit. You start to talk to them about life, what's going on here and all of that. Look at their reaction. If these people don't react in a way that you expect someone like me to react, then maybe you're not dealing with a real person. You know what I'm saying? You're not dealing with a conscious person, because people must respond to these things. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you say something deep, they must be able to respond. If the person says, you're crazy, or they laugh or they ignore you, they change the topic very quickly. I've seen that happen a lot. You try to have a conversation with someone about something really deep and they change the topic quickly. And you're like, huh? What I've just said is really deep. I've seen that happen so many times that, and that actually made me think, no, man, something is not right. Because this person has never changed any topic. Let's just say it's a person that you usually communicate with. So you communicate with this person about anything and they don't change, like they never try to change the topic. But once you bring up something real, they instantly want to change the topic. Ask yourself why. I don't think the world is what it seems, guys. I don't think people that we interact with, like all of them are real. I think most of the people that we interact with are not real. I think they're controlled. Some of them are our handlers. They're sent into our lives to study us. Maybe they, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but maybe they work like cameras. The decoys that I was telling you about, that they use to, like, kind of like, watch animals without them even knowing that they're being watched. Like like maybe like the one that studied ducks. They send a duck that's a decoy. And it's recording everything that ducks are doing, and ducks be thinking that this duck is one of them, while that isn't the case. Don't you think that that is what's happening? You find that people are recording you with their eyes. As crazy as that may sound, so they're recording everything. You never know how deep the deception is. Like, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You might be dealing with soulless beings in your life who were sent to come and study you. You know what I'm saying? So that they will know you. Maybe they're interested in something about you. Maybe there's something special about you. Maybe um maybe they want to know how they can defeat you. Maybe they want to know how they can steal whatever you have that they don't have. You get what I'm saying? This reminds me of the movie Inception. I've spoken to you about this movie. When that guy was in a dream, when they were trying to, you know, give him this idea that so that when he wakes up, it feel like it's his own idea. He didn't know what was going on. There were people in his life who were there to deceive him and get him to think a certain way, but he didn't even realize that. So all of that was done without him knowing. So he never got to realize what was being done to him. Is it? What if you are being manipulated too? What if there are NPCs who are being sent to your life every day? What if that comment that that lady at the store made, you know, it was not a real like it was not coming from a real place. She's just an NPC, and she was told what she needed to say. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but let us try to look at things differently. I don't think the way that we've been looking at reality has been working. I don't think we've been waking up by looking at reality the way that we look at it. I think truth, no matter what it is, will be stranger than fiction. Like it will be something very strange and unbelievable, right? Like if we were told the truth now, we'll all be shocked. Even the people who kind of felt like whose feelings kind of led them to the truth, but then they weren't quite sure, they'll still be shocked. They'll be like, damn, so I was right, but this is crazy, right? Oh, so we're in a simulation for real? And there are many NPCs here, and maybe there's only like 1,000 people who are real. Like this is actually crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you find that it's something that the person has already thought, but it's not easy to accept that it's true. You want to believe what seems to be normal, and I think that's what's holding you back. Like now you have to start to think reality might not be what it seems, and it might be something crazy. So now like now don't be afraid to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to be crazy, because if you're going to know what's going on, of course the truth will be something crazy, since we are being deceived all the time, since we're not even being told anything. So expect the truth to be something crazy. I've interacted with a lot of people that kind of made me suspicious. Like, what's going on with this person? Why do they behave as if they're not real, as if they don't have their own mind, as if they can't think their own thoughts? You try to have a debate with a person, and you can see that no, man, some of these things don't have anything to do with intelligence, because sometimes you can have a conversation with a person and you just feel like they're dumb. What if they're not dumb? They're just an NPC. They're just saying what they were programmed to say. Let me ask you a simple question. Let's just say you played a video game, and you were playing a video game and they told you that the other characters are people too. Like, they are player characters. You know, what would you think? Wouldn't you think that that is true at first, until you interact with them more and be like, no, this is not a real person, bro? Because they should be able to think like a human if they are conscious. You find that they just keep on repeating the same phrases all the time. They can't have any deep conversations. um I remember, if you watch the movie I, Robot, I remember when Will Smith was communicating with the AI. The AI told him that it's not programmed to answer some questions. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that it responded, you could tell that it's limited, right? And I think that's how NPCs are. They will be limited. They'll try to ignore you if you are saying things that are deep, like too deep for them, things that they cannot answer. They will have a way to protect themselves. Maybe you'll be talking to them and be like, let's just say you're talking to an NPC over the phone. So you start saying some real shit and be like, Ash, let me drop the call because I need to do this and do that. Or you're with a person in your room and you start to have real conversation and they come up with an excuse to leave, right? It's a way for them to protect themselves so that you don't realize that you were dealing with a non-player character. Any conscious person who is in pain because they are conscious in a world that they don't understand, they will actually want to have real conversations about this world. That's human nature. You want to talk about the things that hurt you. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about things that confuse you. And we are all confused here. It's not like there's a person who's not confused. All of us are confused. So why wouldn't people want to have serious conversations about what's going on? And why are people discouraged from having serious conversations about what's going on? So you always have to pretend as if things are okay and as if things are making sense, even though nothing is actually making sense. That's when you be considered normal and that's when you be treated well. But the moment you say something real, the moment people start leeching, the people in your life start leeching, some people start leaving, and you're like, I shouldn't have said that because I didn't want to lose this person. But I'm telling you that if you lose a person because you're real, then that person isn't even supposed to be in your life. Like, why? How can you lose someone for being real? That is something that must be appreciated about you. You being real, you being honest, you speaking your truth. That should be appreciated. I'm telling you that the problem is that we're dealing with non-player characters, and we don't like it. That seems to be too crazy. That seems to be too crazy to be believable. But what if it's true? Ever thought of that? What if it's actually true? What if you are actually dealing with non-player characters? What will that mean? Willing realizing that be awakening. Now you're no longer being manipulated. This reminds me of this video that I watched online. It was a video of two dogs. So the someone was pointing a red dot on the floor, like using a torch or something. So they were moving that dot left and right. The other dog was, watching the dot moving from left to right. The other dog was staring at the person who was holding the torch, and I was like, huh. So that will help you if you thought like that dog, because now you can see beyond the illusion. So now, if the help room tries to play some tricks on you, you're ready. Yeah, oh, I'm already aware of this. I'm already aware that the health room is going to send people to my. I don't take things personally anymore, and I think you shouldn't too. Because sometimes I do find myself in situations where someone will say something to me that I don't feel like they will say to someone else, and maybe it's something that makes me feel insecure or something that bothers me, something that I didn't want to think about. And I'm like, what are the what are the chances that they will say that and now, right? Yeah, maybe you are being watched and they are supposed to trigger you in some way. Reality is not what it seems, guys. When I try to think of how big the world is, I can't imagine it not having NPCs. I can't. I can't, bro. They're telling us that there's more than 7 billion humans. And you want to tell me that all these humans are self aware? All of them. They have their own lives, they have their own stories. What if they don't? When things happen, Don't ever feel like they're random. Try to ask yourself why. Why now? Why is this happening now? If you meet a person, ask yourself why you're meeting them. Why am I meeting this person now? Don't think it's random, right? Don't ever think it's random. We're being manipulated in a very big way, guys. I'm telling you. We're in Truman Show type of reality. Actually, it's kind of worse because maybe in Truman Show, the people that he was interacting with, some of them had feelings and they genuinely cared about him. They weren't just acting. But I'm telling you that we might be dealing with non-player characters that don't have any feelings, that don't, don't have compassion. They're just programs doing what they were programmed to do. So you need to become more intelligent than them. Like that's the way to win. You got to become more conscious than them. You got to be able to predict their next move because it's just programs. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be aware that you're dealing with programs. You shouldn't be so unconscious that you don't even realize that. Because if you don't realize that, obviously you're gonna be manipulated. You know, when people do some things, that's gonna shock you. How can a human being do? It's NPCs. They do what they're programmed to do. They don't feel anything. It's only you who suffers because you're feeling something. You know, these NPCs get arrested, and then you you feel for them. I'm not saying don't have compassion, and I'm not saying be toxic. You know, and here's the thing, bro. Some people that I've had conversations with about uh the possibility of us living with non-player characters. Some of them would say, no, people who think that way are narcissists. I'll be like, bro, people are trying to figure out what is actually going on. And it does really seem like they're non-player characters. You can't really say that person is a narcissist, you know, and any person can be a narcissist, whether they think that they live with NPCs or not. Do you get what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with narcissism. It has everything to do with people questioning their reality, questioning the world that they found themselves in, since no one is actually telling them anything. You know, you just assume that everyone is like you and they're conscious the same way that the animals that will, they will send decoys to you know to study them. They will think that these animals are real and they're one of them, while they're not. They're just decoys. So that's the same thing that I think we're dealing with here. That is why we see some people glitching, some celebrities glitching. Yeah, no, that's hey, it's this person has this mental condition and all of that. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Maybe things are not what they seem, guys. We have seen a lot of weird things. There are a lot of videos that we still can't explain. People behaving very strangely or doing something that we felt was impossible, and then we always try to come up with the logical explanation. We've seen celebrities, oh, kind of like their eyes change in front of us, and we're like, oh, it's just the camera. Like we always want to come up with what feels logical, right? What if things are not what they seem? Or let me say, what if things are what they seem? And we always want to come up with an explanation that seems logical, but actually, what we're seeing is actually what we're saying, right? Both says obviously scripted. This feels totally scripted, guys. This feels totally scripted. And to realize that you must look at how you grew up. You realize that life kind of unfolds in chapters. Like there will be a time where you will just be going through something and it will just be similar things. Like there'll be time when you don't have a friend. No one wants to be your friend. No one, and you want friends. And then there will be time when you have a lot of friends and you don't even want a friend. There will be times when you can't even find a girl, bro. Like all the girls that you'll be approaching, they're rejecting you. And then there's time when every girl wants you. There's time when you don't have access to some things, and there'll be time when you have a lot of access to these things. You're like, it's kind of like life is actually unfolding in chapters here. Like if you're watching a TV series, um, I like TV series where, like, if the title of the TV series is it was all a dream, every character is exploring that idea in their own way, right? So it all makes sense. Let me give you another example. Let's say the title of the episode is "You Should Have Loved Me." You find that some of the characters are dealing with the family issues. Maybe the parents are not were never really there, and then other characters are dealing with relationship issues. They feel like they're not loved. You get what I'm saying? Life is kind of like that. It unfolds in chapters. It has a theme. All the theme does change, but there will always be a new theme. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it unfolds in chapters, bro. If you pay attention to how you grew up, pay attention to how you experience life, you realize that no, it's always been unfolding in chapters. So it does definitely feel scripted. So that's why taking it seriously doesn't even make sense. Elvis, I've also seen Black Shadows targeting me, and when I pull to the side, it goes to disappear. Many strange things happening. Yeah, I mean, I think we've all have seen shadows, bro. We all have seen shadows. We all have woken up and we saw someone that seemed like an actual human and they slowly disappeared, and we try to come up with a rational explanation. Huh? Like now it's just my mind playing tricks on me, or it's just my eyes. Speaking of my eyes are hating because of this light. Let me see how it is. Um yeah, you can still see me, guys. You can still see me. The light is actually hurting my eyes. I have a headache, and I think it has to do with my hand. It's not it's healing, but I still feel pain, like from here. you know I didn't really sleep last night, so maybe it actually has to do with my hand. But yeah, we've seen strange things, bro. I was thinking about sleep paralysis last night. I was like, man, I don't know why we think that is normal. Like, it's normal that you wake up in the middle of the night, you're in a room, you can't move, and there's this shadow figure that is just standing, not moving. Or even a person, like this scary person, and you can't move, you can't scream, you can't say anything. How is that normal? Don't you think that something might be going on? This reminds me of this other episode of South Park. But South Park was visited by, I mean, yes, South Park was visited by aliens. So uh, they decided to visit Eric Cartman, and they put something inside him. So when he woke up, he told his mom that he had a dream where these strange looking creatures with big eyes entered his room. And his mom was like, "Ah, it was just a dream." And he believed that it was just a dream. And then uh, he told his friends, and his friends were like, "No, actually, it was not a dream. Like, it actually did happen." I think the beings that are manipulating our reality, they're able to, because we dream. You see, because when we dream, we think dreams are not real. So let me put it this way, right? Let's just say they wanted to my day to restart. Wouldn't they make it seem like I was dreaming the whole thing, like I was never live? Actually, I was dreaming. So I just wake up and think that this was a dream. Well, it actually wasn't a dream. I was actually interacting with you, but they wanted this to restart. They wanted this day to restart. So I remember it the same way that I remember dreams. I might not even remember everything in detail. I'll just remember that I was live and reading comments, talking, and I had a headache. You know what I'm saying? We're being manipulated big time, guys. There's a reason why we're not being told anything. It's because we are being manipulated, guys. I'm telling you. Your phantom says, I felt so much vibration throughout my body when in sleep paralysis. Yeah, I've dealt with that too. I vibrate, but not when I'm experiencing sleep paralysis. I just vibrate, bro. I just vibrate in a way that's just not normal. You can tell that no, this ain't right. We can't just say these things are normal and it's how it should be. Like, no, man, something is definitely off. You know, thanks for the super thanks chosen. Humans scare me. I stay away from everyone. You know what's crazy is that a lot of people who are conscious live in different parts of the world. Like where you live in your town, in your city, in your village, you never meet people who are conscious. Find that a person who's conscious in your country stays very far away, as if they placed conscious people far away from each other, made sure that they never get to interact with one another in ways that it's gonna satisfy them, so that they'll never truly wake up. Maybe when people who are conscious connect and have conversations, maybe something magical happens and they're afraid of that. Who knows? But I can see that we're being manipulated in this room, guys. Phantom says, yeah, it's like a scene from Doctor Strange when he had the OBE experience. From Doctor Strange, from because I think I watched that scene, not in the Doctor Strange movie, but Avengers. I think, yeah, yeah. But you're right. Even in the movie Doctor Strange, I think that lady makes him have an out of body experience. Yeah. What if my parents are non-player characters? Whew. I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there. But one thing that I've realized, because I've spoken to a lot of people who are conscious, they will tell you weird things about how their parents treated them. You'd be like, it's questionable. It's like when you're conscious, the people around you are going to behave strangely around you and they're going to treat you, they're not going to treat you right. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to treat you fairly. Like you can tell that they're not being fair to you. That is why a lot of people who are conscious, they don't even have a relationship with their parents. And even if they do, it's not strong. It's not strong enough because of what they've actually experienced. So yeah, it's something that we need to question sometimes. That is it possible that uh, people who are NPCs can actually have a child who's actually conscious, right? I think because everything seems planned and scripted, it can happen like that. Like this is supposed to be convincing. This is supposed to look like it's real. So for it to be as convincing as possible, uh, you yeah, it has to feel like if you you come from someone, they have to be real too. You know, your parents have to be conscious too, or even if they're not conscious, but they have to be real. But I think it's possible for non-player characters to actually have a child who's actually conscious, who's actually real and who's actually having a real experience. And I think that most people in this room are not conscious. It's only few people, and we need to have a way to realize who's real and who isn't. Like if we can do that, I think we will like move forward, as conscious beings. Because there's no way some people are that stupid, bro. There's no way. You debate with some people and you're like, maybe this person is stupid. But no, dude. Human beings can think. Like if you have a conversation with someone about religion and you tell them that No, the reason why you believe in your religion is because you were born in a religion that you were born in a family that believes in that religion. You never actually tried to study other religions to figure out what is true. So you never actually pursued truth. Meaning that if you were born in a country that believes in another religion, you would be believing in that religion. And the person thinks that what you're saying doesn't make sense. While it makes all the sense in the world. How can that not be making sense? So you can tell that some people are just not real, guys. It's not even about being stupid. Evelyn, true. Playing with emotion is the female's only survival game. You guys are talking about relationships. Carlos, what if you have zero free will? You are watching and feeling a totally prescribed visual reality movie. Yeah, man, these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. But um, even if everything is scripted, I do think you can actually go off script. Like Agent Smith in the Matrix, right? I think you can rebel. I think there will be a lot of things that will be done to stop you from rebelling so that you continue to follow the script. But I think you can. You can actually go off script. Florin, I believe it's a DNA going wild and that's it. Some have certain traits while others don't. Truth doesn't even enter conversation in survival of some people. Seeing reality for what it is yeah, we can say that, but it's also possible that some people are just not real. So yes, you can say that it makes a lot of sense, but it's also possible that some people might not be real. Some people might actually be NPCs. So that sounds like a logical explanation. But what if the truth is it's just something that's just can that's just not logical. JMax says you have to kill your avatar's sense of self, then you are off script. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. It's like uh if you can kill your ego, I think you will actually be off script by default. A lot of people don't realize how egotistical they are. Even the people who think they're good, like they're still controlled a lot by their egos. Can you imagine if you were egoless? Zero ego. I think, yeah, that's when you actually be able to go off script. Free will is a myth. Chosen light. Thanks for the super thanks. Can we join your life? Guys, there's a Discord link that isn't working, but I want to tell you my name on Discord. It's Benedictine actually. I don't know if my name is searchable. I would like people to try actually to search for my name. Let me find my username here. Because that's where we can uh have a conversation live. The name of the Discord is Benedict Tribe, right? This is how it looks. Like this is how it actually looks. I hope the phone is actually able to focus. Let's see. Or it must be like this. Benedict Tribe. So the username, I don't know if that's what I must like. This is what people must search, or is the username? Because the username is Benedictine. So the username is this is the username, but it doesn't seem like it's visible, guys. But yeah, we will be able to because What I want to do with Discord is that like we can have conversations maybe 2 or 3 times where people join the video, at any time. You know what I'm saying? At any time. What I will do is that I'll go live and tell your guys to, let's go and have a conversation on Discord. But right now I'm struggling to create a link that people can use to join. You know, that's the problem. But when all of that is fixed, then I think we'll be up and running. Can you paste the link in the live comments? That's actually a that's actually a good point. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let me try it right now. Invite people. I think this is how it must work, right? Invite people. I copy this link and then I paste it here. But then will it appear as a, you see how it appears? It doesn't appear as something clickable, right? Oh, it does. Oh, who came up with this idea? Because it actually does work. It actually does work. It actually does work. Guys, let's join the Discord because it actually does work. But only when you use, and this link is gonna expire. That's the thing. This link is gonna expire. Right. Uh I have to turn on notification for now. But yeah, let's join the Discord, guys. Or maybe I'll go live. Like maybe we'll have a video chat on Discord after the live. It'll be beautiful because that's the way that we can do it. But let's join. Let's join it. The link is here. Let's join it. Yeah, I can see people are joining. Um, hey Benedict, I feel honored to be here. That's both. No, thanks for joining the Discord. So let's keep on joining, guys. At the bottom there's where it says general. This is where people can have a video, like a conversation. Like you can actually start talking, like, and people start to join the video live the same way that they do it on TikTok, but no one has to accept. It just works. So Evelyn says I don't have money for Discord. It doesn't need money, it just needs internet connection. That's it. It doesn't need money. You just join and yeah, we'll be able to communicate. You see, it's that simple. We used to have great conversations on Discord, guys. Great conversations, especially earlier this year. Like great conversations. A lot of people, like you'll find that there's like 10 people and we're just talking, bro. Anyone can join. So now I want to do it right. I want to be the only moderator and yeah, just do everything right. And the main focus, like I said, is gonna be conversations, like on video, on video. Thanks for another super thanks chosen. The discourse mode should be a male or female, not uh why do you say that? I'd like you to elaborate more on that. Elvis as its own hive mind, bro, but we also are in our own hive mind within its own domain as multidimensional beings. These other folks are indeed soulless. Uh, bro, when I first started realizing that people are like controlled, it's like they're controlled by one entity. It was like I was still in high school when I would meet, okay, let's say now I'm in grade 10 and I pass, go to grade 11. I find that the characters of people are like the same. Like the class it's same people with different faces. You get what I'm saying? It's like everyone is the same. It's not easy in this room to actually meet a person who's actually unique, right? It's not easy to meet a person who's actually unique, bro. Puri Bind joined the Discord. Good to be here, Benedictine, playing some run escape. Thanks for joining the Discord, guys. I'll tell you guys when we'll be live, but I think even after this live, we can also be on Discord and have conversations. Would be good because YouTube has not created that option yet. Because I feel like it would be good if YouTube created that option where people can actually join the live. Can you imagine? Like you don't have to create a link for people, send them on their emails and all of that. And we're still gonna do that, by the way. I'm still gonna send you the link when I go live, because there are people who've already sent me an email. I can imagine. It will be very nice, guys. You find that the person just joins, I accept the request, we have a conversation, another person joins and we have a conversation and we do it like that. It will be very beautiful. So yeah, I think YouTube has to make that happen. It will be very good because they bring so much mental issues to the Discord and spam it with crazy memes that disturb me and yeah, but I don't think the issue is that. I think it's some humans can be like that. Like it's not even. It has nothing to do with sex. I think it just has to do with a person. You get what I'm saying? It has to do with a person. So yeah, that's how I'll look at it. But like I said, I'll be the moderator now. I'll make it work. Where is the Discord link? Let me post it again. Yeah, I've posted it again. Hey bro, how are your gains going at the gym? Um, you know what I've realized? If I don't work out very often, that's when I start to gain. Like if I work out every day, I don't really gain. So let's just say I work out like twice a week. That's when I actually start to gain. But it gets to a point where the like you don't really care about gains. You just care about being healthy. You're like I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or anything like that. I just want to be healthy. But that's when I actually start gaining. But I even been going to the gym very often lately. I think this week only went to the gym once. But I'll go back on Monday. Let's keep on liking the life, guys. Chosen Light, you just joined the Discord. No, thank you for joining. K123, hey everyone on Discord. No, thanks for joining. Reach 888, peace, yo. Thanks for joining. No, I think this time Discord is gonna be interesting, guys. Like it's not gonna be the way that it was. I'll tell you guys the rules, because a lot of people the first time they were pissed off because I don't know, a lot of people like were spamming the channels. But now we'll make it work. There's gonna be rules, and I'm gonna be the moderator. It's gonna work, guys. Let's keep on joining. I'll keep on. I'll be telling more and more people to join. I'm also gonna post on the community, uh, on YouTube. And actually, I need to allow people to post on YouTube, like on my community on YouTube. I think that would be nice too. JMEG, to me, it feels like everyone's collective shadow that somehow exists as a single entity, like a collective. It actually makes me laugh. You kind of remind me of what is the name of this movie? Um, Damn, I forgot it. That is a new movie, but yeah, it does feel that way. Final Destination. Thank you for your Discord. No, thanks for joining. Um, Deep Pop. How do I find a decent cave to live in? I wish that was possible to like get away from people for a while, But the problem is, are you going to be safe? Because that's the thing with this realm, bro. It's not like can you imagine people? A lot of people will actually choose sometimes to live in the wild if they knew they were going to be 100% safe. Like I would choose to go and sleep in the wild if I knew 100% that I would be safe. But there are snakes. There are animals that can eat you. But not only that, there are humans too. There are some because human beings are messed up too. So there are humans who look at you and be like, "Oh, let's go and do something to that person." That's what's messed up about this room. Like we're not free to live life the way that we truly want to live life. You know, women always chase rich men, but the thing with like we shouldn't be one side. Like you shouldn't only look at things from your perspective. Men and women are messed up. It's not like all of us are just messed up. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. We all selfish. You know what I'm saying? So you can say women are after rich men, but what are men after? What kind of women are men attracted to? It's just a messed up realm, guys. That is the truth. There's no point hating the opposite gender. Like it's all of us are messed up. You know what I'm saying? There isn't a conscious being who isn't messed up. That's the thing. We I don't know how we can truly free ourselves. That's why I told you that you have to kind of like reject your own nature, right? That's actually you being good. This actually you being a good person. Because if you're going to be controlled by your own nature, there's no way you're not going to be evil. 1, 2, 3. I train every day, but I don't do it for looks. I need, yeah, for my mental. Exactly. That's what I like about working out, man. Like it gives you mental clarity. Why do you think you're a white knight that came here to save humanity? You think that people can choose to come and save humanity? Yeah. Like human beings cannot. I think every human has to save themselves. I think that's it. When it comes, because here's the thing, bro. It doesn't matter how right you are. There will always be people who think that you're wrong, and if they can do something to you, they will. We've seen that happen like repeatedly. Like you could be speaking the whole truth. People, because of how misguided they are, they still won't be able to say that you're speaking the truth. So it's people who need to serve themselves. Evelina, uh, choose a specific day to paste the Discord link on your YouTube community and do the Discord on the same day. Always remind us about community. But now you're right. You're actually right. Now at this time I'm gonna be more active, like the community itself. So yeah, I would like us to actually have conversation on Discord more often. You know, like that will be good. John Max. Every time something I own breaks down, like my bike this morning, miles away from home, I think about this notion that attachment to things create pain. I think this realm, it knows what we're attached to, and if it's not making us feel pain, it's gonna use the things that we're attached to. It's gonna use our attachment to make us feel pain. I've seen that happen a lot, bro. You find that like someone just bought a phone and that phone means a lot to them, and other people have phones, but they use them, but not like that person. Then next thing, the phone stops working. They don't even drop it or anything like that. It just stops working. You're like, huh? This person needs the phone more than all of us because they really use it. This place knows our weaknesses, man. It knows our weaknesses. It knows our attachments. So of course, it's gonna use our attachments. Mm, let's see, because I think I've skipped over some comments, and I don't want to skip comments. Okay, but says I'm about to go to the gym. That's good. I'm going to the gym on Monday. I should actually make videos while I'm at the gym. It'll be good. No, Banana says I'm a woman and I didn't choose a rich man. I make more money than my husband. We are both poor. Yeah, it's not every woman who will go for a rich man. It can happen that a woman has the option to date a rich man and she still dated a man not making too much money. It does happen, you know. Like the thing is, it like in general, we know that uh, power attracts. You know what I'm saying? In general, we know that if I'm powerful, if I have a lot of money, women are gonna be attracted to me more than they're attracted to people who don't have money. Even if I'm an a hole, they're not gonna care. You know, Conor McGregor, if he showed up to a church, Christians thinking that they are good and all of that, he showed up to church, he will actually be able to sleep with like a lot of women, even though he's how Conor McGregor behaves, like he's done a lot of crazy things. It's you always expect the worst. Like I wonder what he's gonna do before this year ends. You know what I'm saying? But he has money, and that's what really runs the world. Rich guy, thanks for the super thanks. What do you think is the best method to consciously control this matrix and bend it at your will and bend it? Um, I don't know if you can. You know what I think? I think detachment can help you a lot, but I wouldn't say you're consciously controlling it. It's that you don't let things get to you. Because if there's nothing that's getting to you, the matrix will not want to stop bullying you. I remember I gave you guys this example that if when you were a kid, if other kids realize what your weaknesses are, they would want to exploit that, right? The kids that showed us their weaknesses, they were the ones who were getting bullied, right? If you're scared of if you're scared of bugs, like bugs make you really scared, kids are gonna use that. You know what I'm saying? Like they are constantly trying to find a weakness. You know what I'm saying? So the matrix is like that. So let's say you were totally detached. So when things happen, they don't affect you as much. I think the matrix will just leave you alone because it's not getting any lush from you. It's like it's no longer in being entertained by you. So I would say that's maybe the way to control it. But now it's I don't think you can do that consciously. Thank you guys for joining the Discord. Sometimes I think we can be on Discord and YouTube at the same time, right? I think that's possible. But the way that it can work is that because I can't show you the screen, so the way that it can work is that people, at the bottom where it says general, you join and then we have conversations there that other people are going to be able to hear while we're live on YouTube. I think that will be brilliant actually. Like if we did it like that. Let me post the Discord link again just in case someone is new to the chart. Okay, let's relearn. Even when you overcome your weakness, the matrix will invent a new one. Yeah, actually, that is true. Like I've seen that. So it's not necessarily about overcoming. It's about detachment. It's not necessarily about overcoming. It's about being so detached, man. Like if you should just not care, man. If you can work on that, people think that it's impossible to not care, but there are a lot of things that people do that we felt were impossible. A lot of things that people do that we felt were impossible. Like if you're really determined to like stop caring, I think you can actually stop caring. Evelyn Powell, you watch George Carlin. Yeah, the guy was ahead of his time, man. I like comedians who speak the truth. Bill Blair is kind of like the next. It's kind of like the modern George, but no one is going to replace George Carlin. But yeah, I like comedians who actually speak the truth. You know, like who actually speak the truth. Because here's the thing. There's something that I realized um about comedians who actually speak the truth. Because they're making people laugh, they don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? And they're not offended by it because people are laughing. Like George Carlin has a way of saying things in a way that will make you like. Same thing with Bill Blah. Like you tell you the truth, but in a way that makes you laugh. I wish I was a comedian because if I was speaking this kind of truth and I knew how to be a comedian, dang. There's this other comedian, it's Black America. I forgot his name. He's always on TikTok, bro. He likes to talk about Black American celebrities. He's also a truther, but he's not that like it doesn't go that deep, but he just exposes the hypocrisy and all of that. So I like that. I like that. Thanks for another super thanks, rich guy. If solipsism is the ultimate truth, then how could you ever get mad at anything external or the so-called hell room? Ain't you the source of all pain and suffering if solipsism is true? The issue is this: whether solipsism is true or not, you are still having an experience and you prefer the experience to be a certain way. It's like if you have a nightmare, right? You can wake up from that nightmare and still be mad that you had a nightmare. even though you know it was a nightmare and it was not real, right? Even though you know that what happened was not outside of you, you're still being tortured. I remember in the movie Inception, they spoke about your own projections torturing you, like your own projection persecuting the dreamer, stuff like that. So that will be something that you'll be dealing with, because you don't want to be in a realm or in a dream where you are just suffering, like nothing is going your way. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is why we are affected by what's happening. But still, the ultimate answer is detachment. Is being so detached that we watch these cycles going on and we're like, all right, like you just don't care. Like you just reach a point where you just don't care. That's it. You don't say buy a comedy book and develop the skill slowly. But it's not easy. I think you just have to be naturally funny. Harold, you have to be naturally funny. I think it's difficult to make people laugh, you know, especially when you're intending to make them laugh. Like I'm able to make people laugh when I'm not intending to make them laugh. But once as I'm that becomes my intention, then it becomes really difficult. You know, ritual. The George is really good. Yeah, yeah, it was next level, man. You're saying women are not a good when it comes to comedy. Oh, some of them are. There are some women who are good stand-up comedians, bro. Like they will make you laugh. I think they just don't pursue that kind of career. Like they're not that interested in that kind of career. Justice for the LPA. Benedictine, hello from London. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa, and thanks for joining the live. And there's a Discord link that I've just posted now in the chat. I want as many people to join, guys. I want Discord to be like very interesting this time, guys. Last real one. When you are giving example of the hell rim in your videos, be funny. Found out your girl slept with your best friend. Like that's funny. That makes people cry, bro. How did George Carlin really memorize the millennium? And I've always wondered how comedians are able to like stand for like an hour and speak, because they prepare everything right. Like I think that's not easy to do, and remain funny all the time and remain undistracted. Because sometimes, because you're performing in front of people, it's not like a song. It's much easier to do lyrics, right? To memorize lyrics and then recite them. Mr. says the Discord. No, I'll be the moderator this time. Nyanga and Zola, peace reflection. What do you think about the totemic simulation theories? Says humans are animal spirits living in the matrix. with human mask. No, I've not heard about that theory at all. I have not heard about that theory. Um, but I don't know if I'll agree. I don't know if I'll agree. Because if like if you are spirit, then how are you animal in spirit? Thanks for another super thanks, rich guy. Okay, if that's true, then your focus shouldn't be on the projection. Your focus should be on how to consciously control the projector. Okay, why get mad at something that you are the ultimate source of? No, that's a good that's actually a good point. Um, the problem is that if you don't know how the projector is projecting everything, right? Like it can be frustrating sometimes. Like if you don't know how reality is created, and it just feels like it's just happening. It gets to a point where it's frustrating by default, right? So now you end up suffering because even if you don't get mad and you be like, yeah, well, it is what it is has happened. It doesn't mean that it nothing is happening. It doesn't mean that nonsense is not happening. It will still be happening. You find that sometimes you get sick. Sometimes you get attacked by people out of nowhere. People break into your house and rob you or start a fight with you and all of that. But you're right when you say you must focus on the projector. You must focus on the dreamer. That's what I've been saying in one of the videos that I've made around this topic. That focus more on like try to like I don't know move back, like be detached from a lot of things and focus on you as consciousness itself and figure out how this thing might actually be created, right? But I don't think it's easy, bro. Like consciousness is a mystery to itself. Jeremy says, how about this? If I'm a projector and I don't like what I see, hand my projector back to whatever made me and have faith. But how do you do that? That's another problem. John Mac, sometimes I feel like one short breath away from waking up in a mental health hospital tied to a bed with nurses telling me I've been going through se- several schizophrenia episode for the last 5 to 10 years. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you wake like I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, can you imagine if you wake up in jail and this was your punishment? Like you did something, so you were being punished by being made to experience nonsense. So you wake up in jail and they say, yeah, you're not done with your sentence. So we're gonna put you in another dream. Like you know what I'm saying? Because I'm imagining that that's how jails are gonna be in the future. Like they're just gonna put you in a simulation. You know, when they say, for an example, someone is serving like 10 life sentences, to make sure that they properly save all these sentences, there must be simulation that's uh going to feel like it's like that maybe an hour in that simulation it feels like 100 years, right? By the time you get out, you be like, what the hell? You find that the world is not moved on at all. The case is still new, but you've went through hell. All right, guys, thank you all for joining the live. It was a good one. I have a headache, but I'm glad I was able to do this. I would like to have a conversation with you guys on Discord. So if you can join the video chat, then let's do it. Let's go to Discord and have a conversation. Um, I think it will be great if we test this out. So I'll be there. I'll be waiting for a while. You just go um to to general, like it's at the top, video channel. So you just go to the, yeah, to the bottom, and then you try to join. Allow microphone to work only this time. Uh, yeah, guys, you can join. Let me end the stream. So let me post the link for the final time. So let's join the Discord, and because what I like is that we can actually have a conversation like right now in real time, right? So we can all go there. So thank you all guys for this live. Let's like the video. Let's share the video. I think I must try to post the comment after this live as well. Thank you all guys. On the stream.